How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me. I'm such a fan. I've been a fan since Pocky Boy, so I'm really excited that I get to do this.
Thank
Um,
you.
First of all, congratulations on the album release of Evangelical is a Gun. How are you feeling that it's all mixed, all mastered, and your fans get to have it in their hands?
Honestly, it feels really surreal because I when you do work on an album or like something for such a long period of time, and you just it feels like a never ending kind of like carousel of madness. You just sort of like hold on for so long and bear the pains of perfectionism that once it's done, it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah, it's like when you
Yeah.
finish a TV show, you don't know what to do with yourself because you get so attached, like emotionally, to all
Yeah.
the characters and stuff. Conceptually and visually, this album is pretty different from your last album, Soft Scars. It's all still very Yule, but there's definitely been kind of a shift in the artistic direction, I think. Would you tell me about the growth in terms of the direction from your last album?
It's literally a more personal and raw kind of electronic mixed with my love for grunge and indie intentionalities fused into one. And this new record was also in the same way like a homage to the eras of music which I love, which is like, like 90s or early 2000s music. I feel like both albums are, have those sentiments. But Angelic Gazgan, I feel like, is way more sexy and dark. But I would say conceptually, all my albums pretty much have always been in the same realm of like what I love and the music I listen to and people who have touched my life and the struggles that I go through.
I love that there's so much variation, but there's also like a lot of through lines in your whole discography. And one of the through lines I feel like is your use of motifs. Like you always talk about like fame or beauty or the sun or violence or peace throughout a lot of your music. But in this specific project, what was the most important kind of idea or motif or to explore?
I made this record centered around this idea of being a painter trapped in a studio. Um, Also because I really love this image of a studio that has been very much used, almost abandoned, like you're a ghost living in it. My history as a visual artist has always been I started off as a painter. So I was like, it's like a lot of my visual art in my music project often comes from building these visual worlds because I always love to build them fast before I actually make it. I always do a really intricate, like, environmental study of like what the colorscapes are or who the character I want to be is for each album.
Yeah, I definitely see that with each album. There's different visuals, and you really, really love visuals, and that's something I really enjoy about your project. You're listening to Triple J. You're about to hear The Girl Who Sold Her Face by Yule. We'll be back on the line with them in just 1 second. This one is called The Girl Who Sold Her Face by Yule, and we are back on the line with them. I feel like that song is about how fame, beauty, and identity and how those three ideas affect each other. But I want to hear from you. What was your intention behind writing this song?
The influence of the sound definitely came from being very exposed to like guitar intentionalities and just being in like a really dark place and thinking about what it means to be the front facing thing of like such a massive project and how I used to feel about it when I was a kid versus how I feel about it now, and whether it's like what it means to be presenting a certain way, whether you're subversive or conforming. So I've been on both spectrums of subversion and conforming to a look. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's like what you kind of have to sacrifice to put yourself in front of all of these people and what it means for your identity, like to re-understand your identity when you're being perceived by such like a big amount of people. Like it's not
But I
really
also don't think it's very like superficial. I
Mm,
think it's more so to do with the high-speed internet era of like mass communication and mass image consumption, I feel like that is like a huge part on like what identity is in fashion, like exploration, or like how you portray yourself through mediums like fashion and, you know, makeup and styling.
And what you mentioned about, you know, a lot of your project exists online, or the entire thing is like based in honestly like a cyber realm that is different from the real world in quotations. And a lot of your fan base also lives online, and your project is so impactful and important to the zeitgeist of like queer media, Asian pop, and lots of internet communities, lots of internet niches. I wanted to finish up this interview with something for the fans who I know love you so much and have been anticipating this album. If you could say one thing that could be hypothetically heard by every single one of your fans, what would you say to them?
I think art is the most powerful weapon for an artist, and without it, I'm nothing. And so if you are an artist, don't give up on anything you're doing, even if it's really difficult, because it takes a lot out of you, but the fruits of your labor will be worth it. And I just hope that everyone who's like in the sphere in this modern era won't succumb to like the technologies that are crushing this human spirit in art, which is tactile human mark making. And it travels into music as well, not just visual art.
I'm so touched. Why are there tears in my eyes? That was so powerful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for speaking with me here on Prison tonight. I'm going to be playing my favorite track off yours brand new album. This one's called Whatever. You're listening to Triple J.
What to bury something that you said last night. Take my mouth shut with your pretty eyes. My eyes stay looking up at the sky, and you sit there and watch me cry. And everything you hate, I hate too. I want you to know I side with you. Nothing is ever to get you. Nothing has changed in my life for you. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you know I like the world when you're by my side. Feels like shitty when you grip me tight. Around my waist and around my thigh. Not gonna lie, it still makes me cry. I still have your smell up in my hair. And you never gave back my Montclair. And I still have the pain you left behind. The blood, sweat, tears of a broken man. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you know I love you?
This is Prism on Triple J.
I used to see problems as